I think there's two problems that I've got, right? It's too much to have finished in 6 episodes.
Yes, that fight with the
The White Walkers?
yeah, the White Walkers and the Night King, that just seemed very rushed.
West Virginia,
West Virginia,
Mountain Mama,
Mountain Mama, take me home. Angry Roads.
Way.
Hello and welcome back to Angry Roads. I'm Suzanne.
And I'm Dave.
And we had a bit of a hiatus because Dave got sick.
She got sick first.
And then I got sick.
She hibernated the sickness, really.
Incubated.
Incubated.
Yes.
Hibernated. Whatever. Incubated?
Incubated.
She incubated the sickness into me, which I hibernated for a couple days.
Okay, sure.
Then I got a flu shot, killed my immune system,
Yep.
got sick.
Then once we were both better, I had my first ever allergic reaction. Still don't know what it was to, but it was terrifying.
It was probably to allergies.
Maybe, but I don't have allergies, so it's fine. So, today, we are discussing...
We just finished Game of Thrones.
We-
That's our discussion, I suppose.
It was... Everyone that I've spoken to, and someone I used to work with said it very well. She's like, I didn't like it, but I didn't hate it. And I'm like, that's fine, but that's not... I kept on comparing it to big things like the Battlestar Galactica final. Like, I was sobbing through that whole thing. I never wanted it to end.
Yeah, I think there's two problems that I've got, right? It's too much to have finished in 6 episodes.
Yes, that fight with the
White Walkers?
Yeah, the White Walkers and the Night King, that just seemed very rushed.
Yeah, to have this thing that's been built up for so long to end in an hour was too quick. And I think that you could probably... Look, let me just put it this way. If they had... A normal season of Game of Thrones is, 10 episodes?
I think so, yeah.
Something like that. If they'd made a season that was 20 episodes, it would have been fine. I would have watched it.
Yes.
Everybody would have watched it.
I mean, that's true. Who wasn't watching it?
I don't know who needs to hear this right now, but you could have gotten the funding. Nobody's going to deny you the money for Game of Thrones. The final season of Game of Thrones. So I understand the monetary issues. I understand that actors have schedules.
Yes.
I understand these problems. But when you're trying to finish something...
As prolific? Someone correct me if that's not the correct
I know
word.
that's a word. I don't know if I'd call it that. That's all.
But
that's whatever.
Something as big as Game of Thrones.
100%.
9 years we've put into this.
Yeah.
We've all put in 9 years. And for you to be like, oh, well, you know what? She just went crazy and then she had to die. And
Spoilers, in
Jon-
case you haven't seen it. But...
Jon just decided he was going to go live with the wildlings and goodbye, good night, see ya. Like, it made no sense.
It was a lot very quickly. And Bran being the king is...
It was stupid.
Sure, that seems like they just pulled it out of a hat.
Literally, yeah. They were all sitting there and they were like, all right, who wants to be king? It will be Bran. And the little actor was there with his little glasses and he was like, oh, cheerio.
It just seems like you took something that could have been great. It's one of the greats of TV. And turned it into just a mediocre ending.
It kind of felt like a first draft. Like when you have a uni assignment coming up and you're kind of like, well, I wrote this thing out and it's going to be this good right now and then I'll come back to it.
Sometimes I only do a first draft and I hand that in. And that's what they did.
That's valid. That's very valid. But...
Yeah. Is it worth it for Game of Thrones? Probably not. I think, what I keep thinking about is this, and I was trying to explain this to you the other day, and I realised that I should stop because we need to save it for Angry Roads, is that it feels like George R.R. Martin?
Sure.
Is that... Yeah?
Yeah. In my mind, he's the same person that wrote, Lord of the Rings, and I know he's not.
No, it's not.
But in my mind, they're the same person.
I think they both have R's in the middle.
That's true.
Because J.R. Tolkien.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway.
Tolkster.
The Tolkienator. What I was thinking is that, he hasn't finished the book.
Yeah.
So, two options would have been better. Everybody would have preferred to have waited till the book was finished. And if the guy's not going to finish it and he dies and never finishes it, then we write it. Then we decide what the ending is. But here's how this is going to play out now. Now we have this thing that people weren't extremely excited about. He knows exactly what to write to not have a failure of a book.
And
he just sells billions upon billions of copies.
Well, the books are now canon, whereas the TV show just won't be anymore.
Yeah, correct. Anything he writes, he can write it the way that he knows people will like, which is nice and all, but was it the way the story was going to go? I have no friggin' idea.
I don't know. I feel like maybe...
I've never read the books, by the way.
Yes, no, neither have I.
Yeah.
But I feel like at no point did he think that it was going to go the way that it has been written for television. Like, I don't think that ending... Because he could have split the final book into 2 books if he really wanted to. We still would have all gone and bought it. And by we, I mean you.
He did an interview and he said, oh yeah, my ending would have been pretty similar. And that's where I was like, yeah, would have been.
Would have been.
Yeah, would have been. It's definitely not now, is it, mate?
But at the same time, even if you took the story that we had and you stretched it, if I could have understood why Daenerys went legitimately insane, then that would have been fine. If they went into her family history and were like, you know what?
We know some of the family history, right?
Her brother was insane.
Her dad was insane.
Was it her dad? Her dad was insane.
Yeah, he was the Mad King, right?
Yes.
Like that was the...
And I get that if we delved more
Was it her dad or her uncle? Whatever. They're all having sex with each other.
Yeah,
so
it's
what's
irrelevant at that point.
Too much incest.
I was gonna wincest, but...
Yeah, no. I get what you're saying. I think, hear me out now, and I also said the same thing to you, just a 20, 30 second montage of all the times people had been like, no, Daenerys, no. No, Daenerys, you can't have this. No, Dragon Queen, no. And then just her in the city with everything failing in front of her.
Yeah.
That would have been fine. Just even that much to give a little bit of extra, this is why she's going crazy.
Yes.
The reasoning behind it, rather than just... I kill everybody.
I'm gonna
you already
raise
won.
this entire city.
It made no sense.
I would have been fine had she flown the dragon up to Cersei and just got the dragon to just burn whoever was in that room with her. I would have been down with that. I completely understand. She killed your one and only friend.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
She also, her family destroyed your family. I get that.
Yeah.
But you destroying an entire city...
It seems like very out of character. It seemed very, very far off the mark.
And if it had been that slow burn, like Breaking Bad, right? Like, remember how he was this nice dude in the beginning, and then it got to the end, and he was just blowing people up and whatnot.
That wasn't even at the end. That was like the end of season 2.
Right, but yes, it made total sense. You were like, I could see the stepping stones of him just becoming
a crazy, crazy evil person.
Yes.
I think...
Whereas with her, she went from freeing slaves...
Yeah, and I understand that was the part of her madness. Like, she thought she was doing the right thing, but turned out she wasn't.
Yeah.
And I know that it's supposed to be the source of her madness was the fact that, like, it was getting taken away from her.
I get that.
But it wasn't enough of an evidence.
For
us to only find out now...
Yes.
That's the reason she's going insane. That's not enough of a reason.
No.
She's strong enough to have taken that, or at least we were led to believe she was strong enough to have taken those kinds of things.
Had it been stretched, had she just lost ground every episode.
Double the season length and show me... I'll take more fluff if it means you're going to spend more time explaining the purpose.
Yeah. Let's
not talk about Arya.
Oh, my sweet. She's just the embodiment of... that subreddit, I'm 14 and this is deep. Everything she said, just so smug and cryptic. What are you doing? However...
It's just not the kind of character that needed that.
No.
And I spent a whole season backing you to become this assassin that can take on anybody's face and that can do whatever you want.
Do you know, I was talking to my best friend about it today. Hello if you're watching. And she said what she would have loved was if they did that scene where Tyrion is in the chains and he's like, we should just have one king, yada, yada, yada. And then she was taken away and Arya wasn't there. And then he pulled off the mask and it was Arya. And it's been Arya all along. And they showed a flashback where she killed Tyrion like 2 seasons ago.
Yeah.
I would have died. That would have been fantastic.
100%. There were so many times when that could have happened.
But
She
what
could
was
have.
the point of her being this little assassin if she never assassined? And I'm sorry, you're getting a cheap shot at the...
That's the only thing she
thinking.
assassined.
That's not enough.
The thinking. I think, like, you know, I was annoyed when it happened. You weren't as annoyed as I was when she killed him, but only because, A, I don't think Arya really carries my vengeance against the Night King. Like, I don't think she's got
Valid.
my, you know...
She understands that he's bad, but he's never really done anything to you, Arya.
Yeah, you just know she's bad because... You know he's bad because you see what's happening now,
Yeah.
but I feel like... It had to have been Jon Snow. I really don't know why it wasn't.
Yes.
It was such a miss strike. It was such a missed thing for a character. Like Jon Snow had to kill him because Night King killed Jon Snow.
Yes.
That's in my mind. It was like this partly a revenge thing. Jon was like, there is no reason for me to stop. I will do literally anything. He gave up the North.
Yeah.
Specifically because he's like, I couldn't beat him.
Yes.
I died to this Night King, so we have to do everything in our power to stop it. But really what happened was I love you, Auntie, and I'm going to fly this dragon with you. And you spent so much time doing literally nothing. You had 2 dragons.
You had 2 dragons.
Why weren't you flaming them?
I couldn't.
You spent so much time flying around and doing nothing.
Well, hey.
It's a whole new world on dragons. It was like...
Oh my god, if someone could make that, that would be fabulous.
I'm sure they have.
Thank
This
you.
is the internet.
That's valid.
This is the internet. So, okay.
Yeah, Jon Snow just spent the entire series, the entire season, just doing this.
I don't want it.
Oh, but I don't
What's his
want
accent?
it.
Yeah.
I don't want it.
Which is fine. I understand he doesn't want it, but that part of the character I get. I don't want him to be the king. I don't want him to be the king of the North. I want him to fight the Night King.
Yes.
Because that is the only reason he's still alive. Right? Like, that's what he's there for. He's there to do that. But we didn't get that.
No.
What we got was something else.
A cheap shot from Arya.
Yeah.
The Theon dying for legitimately no reason.
Had he waited 2 minutes, you were there to protect them, not attempt to kill him. That wasn't your job. Protect Bran, please, Greyjoy. And it was like 3 minutes later, everybody came in. How did Arya sneak past that encircled ring?
And I understand that they showed that scene beforehand where she's in the library and she is sneaking around and she dove under a table with no sound, and I get that. But this is a circle of just mythical beings or whatever. They were zombies or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, the idea that she just sidestepped them and just strafed around them, that's ridiculous. Don't be ridiculous, Arya. Don't be ridiculous, Arya. That's the end of our episode.
Bit of Game of Thrones for you there. What do you think we thought about it? I'm going to give it... To be fair, I will give it a 3 out of 5 stars.
Yeah,
like it wasn't.
Didn't like it. Didn't hate it.
It just wasn't enough for me, but I'll take it because that's what I've got.
I'm gonna say if you guys want to call it a mid-season break and maybe try it again,
I'd
be down.
What are they gonna fucking try? There's nothing to try.
I'm down with an epilogue as long as we don't have to watch Arya go to
It'll be
West
Arya.
of Westeros.
Anyway. Thanks for watching.
Yes, and please subscribe
Yes.
and follow us on our social medias.
Exactly. And if you haven't seen other episodes in the past, go back, look at our backlog. There's some interesting ones in there.
Yes.
Yeah. Until next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.